single one of you's a bit Jesus.
What a wild ride this has been. Well, that's a very blunt question.
But France is lying to you.
Friends and neighbours, and have confidence that the team will keep you safe.
But now you start to see it, the people never happy, with never enough. I cannot believe you.
That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Hi, David, I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through. All right, mate. Dave here. Listen, I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so you're going to have to run the news tonight. Now, don't worry. It's not hard, and I'm going to stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens. Right, look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going up and not down. Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now, the four small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio, and you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the bottom left. Don't worry, I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left. These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again. You can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain. Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk. You can see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any three and load them into the machines on the right. When you've done that, look up to the front again.
That's followed at 8 p.m. by award-winning documentary series The Shape of Man, which tonight looks at the history of the Union Pacific and its importance during the Great Blackouts of 1871. Not wanting less. At 9 p.m, sit back and relax with multiple award-winning movies, The Freedom of Being Colin, taking us all the way up to 11:15.
When you get the signal, select screen 1 with the vision mixer and we're ready to go.
I thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. That's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist, going in 5, 4.
But now, it's time to join Jeremy Johnson.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Johnson.
Mate, you're not broadcasting anything. We're on air and you haven't selected a screen.
I said just couldn't happen.
Okay, all good. Next thing is going to be to throw the news titles on screen too. There'll be a countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Top chat. Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Hamsleeves wins Sports Personality of the Year. And a spoonful of sugar. Megan will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Blunderclatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of course, we'll be going live to Advance headquarters to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party have to say on their historic...
Right. Button 2 in 3, 2, 1. Lovely, mate. Next thing is to throw back to Jeremy with button 1 when that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes. Here it comes. Switch to screen 1 now. Lovely, mate.
The votes are in, and it's a decisive win for Advance.
We often get a bit of interference around this time, mate. Keep your eye on the machine at the bottom right and use the right stick on your wireless controller
Advance
to
appeals
move
the
the
voters
wave
up
up
and
and
down the
down,
country
keeping
with their
the
bold
green
promises
bit
of
in
permanent
the
change.
white bit.
But critics have accused him of a severe lack of actual policies and of being deliberately vague. The opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate, but have yet to appear publicly. However, former Home Secretary...
Right, it's going well. All you've got to do now is play the advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now, the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches 0, press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
To hear the co-leader's acceptance speech.
And 3, 2, 1, advert.
1 minute back.
Play the fucking ad, mate.
I need you to fill after the ads.
What? Why?
Wanker Snatch is running late. Oh, I thought I'd ask him about the election.
Play the fucking ad before it's 2.
Words.
That's the same policy we use with you. I thought that was our little secret. That's all right. He doesn't remember anything I tell him.
I'm deeply uncomfortable with your burgeoning friendship.
Me too.
Yeah.
Child's tale? This is not a dream. This is reality. This is the story of you and how you're stupid and asleep. It's about how you were promised the Elysian fields, but you ended up filleting Satan for the soul.
Wicked. We made it to the first ad break. You're doing great, mate. But this is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multicam sequence, because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting. A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb. 1. Try and keep the shot on whoever is doing the talking. 2. Don't stay on the same shot for too long, 10 seconds at the most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it interesting. 3. Don't stay on reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough. Then the audience want to see who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programmes on television, haven't you? Make it look like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
We're coming back from the break. Quiet in the studio.
Thank you so much.
10 seconds, everybody. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the
Jeremy.
Welcome back. Later we'll be hearing from the shock election winners Advance. But first
Get
up,
ready to go to Megan on screen 4.
is here with a star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolf, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right,
to
go
the
to Blunderclatch on screen 3 when she says his
joined
name.
today by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear, I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is among
Switch to 2 for the wide now.
May I say, having you here with us is among ours.
Right, now just try and stay on whoever's talking.
Latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The Medicated. As I said to Peter at the Rat, that's Peter Jensen, the director. Do you know him? He's a wonderful chap, he really is. I've worked with him on several movies, all terribly successful. I said to Peter...
Been on that show a bit long.
All right, this has been. And you know what, Megan?
Remember the 10-second rule.
Wow, that is fantastic. And
Audience is getting bored, mate.
and this movie is quite an academic one.
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What exactly? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that was the true story of one soldier's fight for a love that surpasses all others.
Mix it up a bit, eh?
For freedom. I think it's
Give us a reaction shot.
But honestly, who's counting?
Get back to who's talking.
Best Actor Awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it. For the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
That is a beautiful question, Megan.
Get on the speaker, mate.
Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will bleed. And often, that's how it
Bored
feels.
with this shot, mate.
Doesn't it? Bleeding.
Been on that show a bit long.
Suffering for one's audience.
Remember the 10-second
I
rule.
suppose in the end, I do it for the difference in it. I do it for the people that I inspire. The little people. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change. It
Audience
looks
is getting bored, mate.
What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well.
Too long on this, mate.
Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics,
Mix it up a bit, eh?
one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Shit, you swore. Oh, well, don't worry, you won't do it again.
I said fuck.
Shit, you did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
Medicated, which opens next week.
Right, they've swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'll just let Megan cue you in.
My character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look. Exciting stuff.
And we're
Go to
on.
the film clip, screen 1.
Mr. Blunder.
Looks like Blunderclash is losing it in the studio, but we ain't got time for that. There's more interference coming. It's a bit trickier this time, mate. Hold down Alt 2 button on your wireless controller, and as the frequency changes, match it to the white bit by gently pushing the right stick to the right.
You think I don't know that?
Now we're going to squash the frequency back by dragging left.
Nonsense, we mustn't. Think of Carol.
That's Dr. Lance to you, Miss Flanagan.
Jubbly, mate.
For you, baby.
Next, we're going to change the amplitude. Same as last time. Hold down the R2 button, but this time, move the right stick.
You told me, but I didn't listen.
Try and keep in time with the white guides.
See this.
Right, now let's match it back by going downwards.
The virus. The sterility. This formula. This is the key.
Stop it all.
Yes.
Not bad, you'll get it with practice.
We have to ask ourselves.
At the end of the clip, you'll want to play another ad. Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in. Mate, get an ad on or we'll get fired.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Jones. Our main headlines tonight.